Top Cop encourages proper parenting. WASA says no change in water supply despite the start of the wet season. Resilient roof repair project launched in Tobago, and TT Revenue Authority gets the go-ahead to operate. Good evening, I am Biana Brebner. Welcome to the Tobago Updates Television News for Tuesday, May 28, 2024. Now to our top story. Commissioner of Police Yearwood Christopher, the key speaker at the mid-year convention of the National Parent Teachers Association, said there is no adequate substitute for proper parenting regarding today's youth's behavior. She said there is an over-reliance on the police. However, she acknowledged the role of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, proposing some initiatives the TTPS are implementing to restore, rebuild, and brand communities and society. Ariana Scipio has the report.
Commissioner Yearwood Christopher shared some of the activities of the TTPS in support of public safety, community engagement, and youth empowerment.
Community partnerships. Community-oriented police officers establish direct liaison with school principals to implement plans and programs to curb school violence and ill discipline.
Yearwood Christopher also listed school patrols, visits, and lectures that will form part of this program. She noted that children on suspension will be assisted in developing appropriate behaviors. She also highlighted the role of the Police Youth Club.
Police Youth Club membership is promoted, and after-school programs involving sports are conducted to improve discipline and mental capacity.
She noted that there are over 100 police youth clubs nationwide, and 90 of them are active. Yearwood Christopher then went on to discuss educating parents and students.
Education and awareness programs are conducted to address violence, conflict resolution, and positive parenting strategies.
Moreover, the Commissioner explained that in some divisions, there is support for parents through the Parents Acquiring Resources Through Support program, an interactive program involving parents of suspended children and repeat offenders. Commissioner Yearwood Christopher highlighted that officers work with school administrations to build a positive school climate based on respect, tolerance, and inclusivity to prevent conflict and incidents of violence. She also spoke about anti-bullying programs.
Anti-bullying. Programs that promote empathy, kindness, friendship, and bystander interventions are conducted. The programs also encourage open communication channels and effective mechanisms for students to report bullying incidents in order to create a safer school environment.
The top cop said that a lot is being done, but admitted there's more work to do. However, she said that the TTPS's success ultimately relies on their determination to continue to work until they get the desired results. The Commissioner declared that the TTPS is committed to getting results and will continue to do its part. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
The Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development has partnered with Habitat for Humanity TT to launch the Resilient Roof Repair Project in Tobago. More in this report from Travicia Phillips.
Secretary Ian Pollard announced that over 40 homes have been assessed, with 8 already prepared for roof repairs.
We have been inundated with calls from persons since they saw the first set of pictures put out on the division page, and we want to let Tobagonians know that we will get to you at some point in time, but our greatest constraint will be financing, because this was a contribution by Habitat of $1.45 million, which the THA will match.
The project commenced in Mount St. George before moving to New Grange. Future targets include the villages of Culloden, Mason Hall, Moriah, and other rural areas. Pollard emphasized that assessment does not guarantee automatic qualification for the project. Applicants must pass rigorous criteria set by Habitat for Humanity, which the division also adheres to. Abigail Herrera, Technical Officer for Habitat for Humanity, endorsed Pollard's statement.
As Secretary Pollard mentioned, the focus now are roofs. We would be conducting more assessments within Tobago. So as he mentioned, do, have hope. We will come to you once you fit the criteria. And we do look forward to doing more roof projects within the wider span of Tobago as well.
George Duncan, a resident of Bethel and a program beneficiary, shared his positive experience.
Well, I'm feeling excellent. And the workmen working very hard. After yesterday, they worked very hard. And I'm pleased with the work.
Hayden Adams, the contractor for the program, stated that he is scheduled to change 30 sheets of roofs to date and hopes to complete the task in 3 days. Trevicia Phillips, Tobago Updates Television News.
The Water and Sewage Authority has informed the public that even though the wet season has started, the water supply has not yet changed. The Trinidad and Tobago Met Service declared that the start of the wet season on May 25th. However, there has not been any change in the water supply situation, with the effects of the dry season heavily impacting the levels of the various reservoirs across the country. This has caused WASA to cut back on production at major water treatment plants. WASA says there is currently a deficit of 45 million gallons per day in the authority's overall production. For Tobago, various water treatment plants such as Corlan, Kings Bay, Richmond and Hillsborough West have experienced a reduction of 4.6 to 1.9 million gallons per day in production. Currently, the level of Hillsborough Reservoir as of today is 40.9, while the long-term average is 57.1. WASA is trying to manage the situation through different mitigation methods, such as amendments to water supply schedules, redirecting supplies from less impacted to more impacted areas, expanding water trucking capacity, a reduction in the leak blockage to below 500, and introducing new wells or groundwater supply to supplement surface water sources, which is currently undergoing. WASA also said that they are looking forward to increased rainfall in the coming weeks and months to supply rivers and reservoirs and for production at water treatment facilities to be restored. Customers are advised to implement water conservation habits in keeping with the theme, Value Every Drop. Still to come, NPTA celebrates 64 years, and later, TT Revenue Authority gets the go-ahead. Stay with us.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, buljoil and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie and rice in various styles. Meats served in a variety of flavors, garden salads and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Tobago, we reach the biggest comedy event of 2024, finally in Tobago for one night only at Shaw Park.
My body, and I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, but you haven't been in the mood for the last 6 months. Love is a Walk, which played to sold-out houses across Trinidad, is coming to Tobago for one night only on Saturday, June 8th at 8:30 p.m.
You promised this would be the last time.
Yes, I tell you, it's the last time, I swear.
You sure about that?
Tickets for Love is a Walk available at the Shaw Park Complex daily and at advertised outlets. Check social media for details. Shaw Park, Saturday, June 8th.
Deltec Distributors, best deal. 3 pounds pork, goat, chicken, turkey, beef, 5 meats, 3 pounds each, $300. Best deal. Or you could try 5 pounds pork, goat, chicken, turkey, beef, 5 meats, 5 pounds each, $500. Best deal. $20 delivery. Call winner 359-5040 or 237-0102. Order online at www.deltecdistributors.com or check winner Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. Deltec Distributors, best deal.
Welcome back. The National Parent Teachers Association celebrated 64 years on the 25th of May 2024 by hosting a mid-year convention at the Lowlands Multipurpose Complex. The convention's theme was Restore, Rebuild and Rebrand, Uniting Home and School. Ariana Scipio has the story.
Head of the Tobago region for the NPTA, Joseph Lindo, shared that this is the third time the convention has happened in Tobago. He said when he became president, it was his duty to make this region the best in the country, which he said they have been successful in. He also welcomed the NPTA members from Trinidad.
I want to thank the officers of the Tobago units and the region for all that hard work to make sure that we became the #1 region in Trinidad and Tobago.
President of the NPTA, Walter Stewart, stated that he committed to the Mid-Year Convention 2024 being in Tobago last year. He stated that he was pleased as the president of the NPTA to welcome everyone to Tobago.
I feel extremely excited that after 64 years, though this is the third time that the National Convention is being hosted by Tobago, at least Tobago is placed on the map again to host our National Convention 2024.
Tutor Tobago officer Braden Roberts noted the event's theme of restoring, rebuilding and rebranding and the quest to unite home and school, noting that stakeholders must understand their roles and responsibilities and exercise high levels of integrity. Roberts also highlighted that the parents, teachers and policymakers blame each other for the students' outcome.
However, there is one question that we need to ask before answering those that we opened with. What will I diligently do to assist in uniting home and school? The I in that question refers to each teacher, each parent, tutor, NPTA, and the policymakers.
Minority leader Kelvon Morris said that the theme encapsulates a vision that resonates deeply with the challenges faced in the education system. He also acknowledged the relentless efforts of the NPTA in fostering a strong partnership between home and school.
Your dedication to uniting these pivotal environments for the betterment of our children is commendable and essential for their holistic development.
Moreover, ACP Collis Hazel was also at the event, officially installing the national executives of the NPTA. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
43% of the Caribbean is food insecure, according to the World Food Programme. That's why food security is one of the items on the agenda for the 4th International Small Island Developing State Conference in Antigua and Barbuda. To shed some light on these statistics, WFP representative and country director of the Multi-Country Office for the Caribbean, Regis Jackman, spoke with reporter Candice Jackson. Here's more.
Food security throughout the Caribbean is a major challenge that hinders its ability to develop. A recently concluded survey conducted by the World Food Programme revealed alarming statistics, as stated by the WFP representative and country director of the Multi-Country Office for the Caribbean, Regis Chapman.
What we're seeing is that around 43% of the population of the English-speaking Caribbean is food insecure. Now, the majority of those people are in what we would refer to as moderately food insecure. But there is a portion that are severely food insecure.
There are several factors contributing to this statistic.
The main culprit is really the affordability issue. And so what we're seeing since COVID-19, exacerbated by the war in Ukraine, is that food prices and basic commodity prices have been on the rise and salaries have not risen accordingly.
These conditions, along with the challenges caused by climate change, make it difficult for SIDS to meet the UN's Sustainable Development Goals of achieving food security by 2030. However, the WFP is working towards assisting the Caribbean in decreasing its food import bill by 25% by the year 2025. Chapman believes that this can happen through regional collaborations for production and trade. They have been working quietly behind the scenes with governments toward this goal.
It's aimed to really improve service delivery to vulnerable populations throughout the Caribbean. So we're working with governments on strengthening food systems, strengthening social protection systems, and strengthening disaster management systems.
Chapman also assures that these policies are being designed to work with various Caribbean cultures.
What we say in WFP is, how do we return to our roots? And we say that meaning our root crops. And so food is cultural. Food is, coming from Trinidad and Tobago, very well, food is culture. And so how do we create the pride for our locally produced foods and to really expand on that?
He indicated that it is important for food policies to encourage healthy eating, especially in light of the Caribbean having the highest levels of non-communicable diseases in the world. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
As the United Nations 4th International Conference on Small Island Developing States continues, CARICOM Youth Ambassador Luke James Trim believes that the youth tokenism in global issues is coming to an end. A special summit was held prior to the SIDS 4 conference, focusing on youth and children's voices for climate justice in small island developing states. From all that was expressed, James Trim is confident that the youth voice is finally being heard. More from reporter Candice Jackson in Antigua and Barbuda.
Global conferences may sometimes have a special session for young people. They may feature youth voices, but do not necessarily execute agendas geared toward youth's wishes and desires. Well, this is not the case for the inclusion of young people at the 4th International Small Island Developing States Conference in Antigua and Barbuda, according to CARICOM Youth Ambassador Luke James Trim. He has a reason to believe that youth tokenism at these conferences is coming to an end.
I would like to put the decision makers on notice and let them be very aware that as the youth we are getting smarter, we are getting more vocal, and we will not stop until our voices and our interests are represented well in the public domain.
At the SIDS Children and Youth Summit action over the weekend, James Trim had the chance to connect with CARICOM Secretary General Carla Bennett, an experience he says left a lasting impression.
And it was very humbling to know that someone understands us, understands our needs and understands our opinions. And she would have signed a commitment, and Candice, it was a really good experience to finally feel seen, to finally feel heard, to know as CARICOM Youth Ambassador I was able to speak to CARICOM Secretary General and she understood, and I got to speak about media and she was really engaged in the conversation.
He is confident that there is hope for the voices of young people in the region. Oftentimes it can be adversarial between young people and older generations. His experience at the conference shows that there is room for meaningful dialogue. James Trim notes that for young people in Tobago, the time is now to band together in advocacy.
I'm telling the youth of Tobago that your voice matters, your opinion matters, and what I would like to do as ambassador is to try my best to mobilize the youth groups that are present in Tobago.
The SIDS 4 conference also impressed upon James Trim the need for young people in Tobago to realize the importance of climate justice for their livelihoods.
So for the youth that are listening, the youth in Tobago, we are responsible for our future, and the effects of climate change can ensure that we don't have a future. So it's important for us to get out there, to start advocating, to start getting mobile on the ground in our environment, getting knowledgeable. So when we are noticing that something is not going right on our island, we can address it.
Following the SIDS Children and Youth Action Summit, world leaders
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. More, live more.
Welcome back. At the conclusion of the 4th International Small Island Developing State Conference, 65 member states, including Trinidad and Tobago, are expected to adopt the Antigua and Barbuda Agenda for SIDS. This plan outlines actionable goals to be achieved over the next 10 years as SIDS seeks to chart a course towards resilient prosperity. However, will this plan follow the path of the 3 previous similar plans that failed to meet their objectives? Find out in this report from Candice Jackson, who is in Antigua and Barbuda covering the SIDS4 conference.
The SIDS4 conference is being touted as the last opportunity to ensure small island developing states get climate justice and build climate resilience in a world where SIDS are most affected by climate change yet contribute the least to carbon emissions which cause climate change. As a result, a 10-year action plan was developed called Antigua and Barbuda for SIDS, ABAS. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Agriculture, Trade and Barbuda Affairs for Antigua and Barbuda, Paul Green, outlined it as a practical and actionable plan.
This means building infrastructure that can withstand climate impacts, diversifying our economies to reduce vulnerability, finding sustainable ways to manage our debt, and improve healthcare systems to handle pandemics better.
It is hoped that ABAS is adopted by all SIDS governments, which includes Trinidad and Tobago, along with civil society and the private sector. But
what happens if we are not able to achieve that 10-point plan?
3 similar previous plans were adopted by such conferences, such as the Bridgetown Initiative, the Mauritius Initiative, and the Samoa Initiative. All 3 fell short of their targets. But Lee Juna, Secretary General of the conference and UN Under-Secretary General for Economic and Social Affairs, believes this time it is different because it might be the last opportunity for getting it right, and though ambitious, it is a practical workshop.
This ABAS symbolizes the strong political commitment from the whole United Nations, and it also involved with the whole UN system. In addition to the member states' efforts, the UN is going to establish, upon the request by SIDS and also endorsed by the member states as a whole.
While Minister Green took a stance of optimism.
And so what's required in this occasion is for SIDS to approach this process, this 10-point plan, with a difference.
He called for all citizens of SIDS, advocacy groups, and the media to positively support the plan, while Rahab Fatima, special advisor on the conference and UN High Representative for Small Island Developing States, said the difference with the ABAS plan is that it has the support of the private sector.
They're serious. They mean business. These are the businesses. So they are taking very seriously the new program of action because they see concrete actions and commitments to take forward. There's business there for them.
The SIDS4 conference concludes on Thursday, 30th May. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
The Office of the Prime Minister has officially announced Friday, May 31st, 2024 as a public holiday. This is in accordance with the provision of Section 3.2 of the Public Holidays and Festival Act, Chapter 1905. This is due to the celebration of both Corpus Christi and Indian Arrival Day, which both fall on Thursday, May 30th, 2024. As such, Thursday and Friday will be observed as public holidays. The weather report is next. Stay with us.
Ride the wave, come jump in the range and drop money, that's what your money mean. Don't need your love, that I cost me fi pay. I think Solomon a bag a girl to me name. Every girl broke out, Lord, broke out. Me say hot girl and that's your time fi step out. Big bumper girl, your time fi get strap out. Hand on your knee, you girl and your body. And every girl I get wild out tonight. Party in my out tonight. If she suck me a fine out tonight. I you know what a wild out tonight. Out the blue light fi a try out the back.
Rotate
rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Welcome back. In a unanimous decision, the Court of Appeal has ruled that the Trinidad and Tobago Revenue Act is valid and constitutional, affirming that it does not breach the constitutional rights of public officers. Martin George, a prominent legal figure, emphasized that the implications of the constitutional motion extend far beyond mere legal victories.
These matters concern the questions of accountability, transparency, and the responsibility which the government has towards the citizens of this nation. Let's not forget that there's still the ongoing issue raised between the Ministry of Finance and the Auditor General as to issues of, sums of monies that.
He pointed out that the government's track record in the area of financial management is far from perfect.
So it's not to say that, the government has had a stellar and impeccable record in this regard. And while we salute and, acknowledge the success which the government has had in the matter thus far, it's not as if they can sit on their laurels and pat themselves on the back to say, well, look, they have done perfectly.
This ruling and the accompanying criticisms underscore the urgent need for improved financial oversight and management in Trinidad and Tobago as the country grapples with economic challenges and strive for greater transparency and accountability in governance. Here's what to expect for the weather tonight into tomorrow from the TNT Met office. Tonight mainly fair apart from 1 or 2 isolated showers. The temperature will drop to around 27 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow generally fair, slightly hazy and breezy despite medium chance of showers developing in various locations from early afternoon. There is a chance of 1 or 2 heavy showers particularly overnight. Temperatures will reach a high of 33 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 37 degrees Celsius. Seas moderate with waves near 1.5 to 2 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sunrise at 5:38 and sunset at 6:22 p.m. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Let's recap the headlines before we go. Top Cop encourages proper parenting. WASA says no change in water supply despite the start of the wet season. Resilient roof repair project launched in Tobago. And TT Revenue Authority gets the go-ahead to operate. I am Bianna Brebner. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night.